My sport teacher thought I was faking an injury, so I ended up in surgery. When I was in 10th grade, I got stuck with Coach Brennan for PE, and everyone knew he was the worst. He had this reputation for being a former college athlete who never made it pro and took out his bitterness on students he thought weren't tough enough. There were stories about him making kids run laps until they threw up, forcing injured students to keep playing because he thought they were being soft. He'd been teaching at Lincoln High for almost 15 years, and every year there were complaints to the administration that went nowhere because he had tenure, and the principal seemed afraid to challenge him. My name is Natalie, and I'd always been pretty athletic. Played soccer outside of school since I was 6 years old and usually did well in PE classes. But Coach Brennan had it out for me from day one because during our first week, I'd questioned why we had to run in 95-degree heat without water breaks. He'd called me a complainer in front of the whole class and said real athletes pushed through discomfort. From that moment, he watched me differently, like he was waiting for me to prove I was weak so he could make an example of me. It made every PE class stressful because I knew any sign of struggle would confirm his opinion that I was soft and dramatic. My best friend Olivia had PE the period before mine with a different teacher, and she'd tell me stories about how reasonable and supportive her teacher was, and I'd feel jealous because I was stuck with someone who seemed to actively dislike teenagers. My parents knew I was unhappy with the class, and my dad had even considered calling the school to request a transfer to a different section, but I'd talked him out of it because I didn't want Coach Brennan to think I couldn't handle his class. That pride would end up costing me significantly. We were doing a basketball unit in early November, right before Thanksgiving break, and I actually liked basketball even though I wasn't great at it. Coach Brennan had us doing these aggressive drills where we'd drive to the basket and other students would try to block us. Full contact allowed even though the school's official PE curriculum said contact sports were supposed to be modified for safety. He called it preparing us for real competition, said high school sports were soft compared to when he played. On a Thursday morning, the gym was packed with our entire class of 32 students, everyone sweating and tired from the previous drills. I was driving toward the basket during a scrimmage when another girl, Kiara, came in from the side to block me. She was one of the taller students and played varsity basketball, so when she moved to defend, she came in hard and fast. Her knee collided with the outside of my left knee at full speed, and I went down hard on the gym floor. The pain was immediate and intense, shooting up my leg in a way I'd never felt before. It wasn't like the typical bumps and bruises from sports. This was sharp and wrong and deep inside my knee joint. I tried to stand up, but my knee buckled completely and I fell again, catching myself with my hands. Several students gathered around asking if I was okay, and I told them through gritted teeth that I thought something was really wrong, that my knee felt like it wasn't connected properly anymore. I could feel something loose and unstable inside the joint, and when I looked down, it was already starting to swell. Coach Brennan pushed through the crowd and looked down at me with this expression like he was annoyed, not concerned. His arms were crossed, and he had that look on his face that I'd seen before when other students complained about injuries or exhaustion. He asked what happened, and I explained about the collision with Kiara, said my knee felt unstable and hurt badly, that I couldn't put weight on it at all. He told me to walk it off and get back in the game, that a little contact was part of basketball and I needed to toughen up. I tried to explain that I literally couldn't stand, that something felt torn or broken inside my knee, but he cut me off and said he'd seen this act before from students trying to get out of class. He said if I couldn't handle contact sports, maybe I should ask for a doctor